What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down how to create a meal plan for weight loss. All right, so I'm gonna be going over a couple different things. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I had a conversation with someone that I work with the other day, and he was asking me questions about how to lose weight, and I explained it to him in basically an hour. So I'm gonna try and make it a lot quicker than that. But basically what I realized is there's a lot of people out there, which I'm hoping that this video will help those people and answer any questions they may have. But I realized that a lot of people, when it comes to losing weight, they don't know what to eat, they don't know how to eat, and they really don't even know when to eat. So I answered all those questions for him. I'm hoping that this video will be a video that you can use to create. I'm gonna give you some knowledge, and I'm gonna explain to you how it works and how my thought process when it came to creating this meal plan, in hopes that you're able to actually create your own meal plan. And by the end of this video, start your own meal plan that you could actually start losing weight or changing your body composition. So let's go to the whiteboard and let me explain to you how it works. Okay, so before I even get started, let me first start by saying I am not a nutritionist. I do not know how this works. I just know when it comes to losing weight, I know how to do it. I'm just gonna explain to you, this is the stuff I use to get the results that I have and I've gotten in the past. And does it work for everyone? It does not work for everyone. Again, I'm just sharing the information that I shared with one of the buddies that I work with that helped him out in regards to hopefully helping you out. All right, so let's jump straight into it. So when it comes to losing weight or body composition, the first thing you gotta do is you gotta identify your total calories that you need to maintain your physique. So whatever your height, your weight, your age is and everything right now, you have a certain amount of calories that if you consume every single day, your body weight will just stay the exact same. Increasing those calories means it goes up, decreasing those calories, it goes down. That's where my buddy was struggling. He didn't know how much protein he should be intaking, how many calories he should be intaking. He was just doing what the traditional American does when they want to lose weight. They start eating like salads, eating healthier, but they only eat like 3 times a day, which is not a lot of calories, and they aren't really losing any weight. So I'm gonna explain to you my thought process on how I created it. So the first thing you gotta do is you gotta figure out how many calories you have to intake. My recommendation, the app that I personally use, which I'll link in the description below, is the First Form app. If you do use the link, make sure you use it within 24 hours of clicking on it, because it does help me and the channel and supports me, so I appreciate that. The reason why I use this app is because it's very simple. As soon as you go to the app and you join the app, it's gonna ask you for all your knowledge of your height, your weight, how active you are, your sex, all that stuff. Then it's gonna shoot out a number. When it shoots out this number, it's gonna give you your daily calories of what you need to, depending on your goal, it could be lose weight, gain weight, maintain weight. But for the sake of the video, I'm gonna say we're losing weight. So it spits out a number. Once it spits out a number, it's also gonna spit out your macros, okay? Once you have those, then you can move on to the next step. If you don't have those, you really can't do the next step because we don't know where you need to start in order to change your body composition. So if you have that, if you download the app and you entered it and you got all your numbers, then we'll jump into the next part. All right, so we are gonna use me as an example. I am 5'11", 32-year-old male. I currently weigh 206 pounds. I am lightly active, and some people might be like, dude, you work out 6 days a week. How are you not active? If I'm not working out, I'm usually either sitting in a classroom or walking around in a classroom. The rest of my life is not very active. So when it comes to people, when they enter that, some of them think they're way more active than what they are. So I always play on the side of caution and go less. I'm not gonna say I'm super active because in the calories, it factors out. May not be accurate, and then I'm gonna be like, why am I not losing weight? As opposed to, I'm gonna say I'm less active, it's gonna give me less calories, and that's gonna help me regardless. So I said I'm lightly active, 5'11", 206 pounds, 32-year-old male, and then it shot me out numbers. The number it shot me out is 2,000 calories per day, which means I could take in, I don't know how to do math apparently, that should be a 0. Okay, so once you have this, it's also gonna give you your macros, which I'll get to in a sec. But once you have this is really what you need. You have your 2,000 calories. So that means you could eat 2,000 calories every single day for 7 days a week, and you'll lose weight. Typically probably a pound to maybe 2 pounds a week. That's the goal. So if you're losing 2 pounds a week, you're on track. Okay, now if you have 2,000 calories per day, that means if you consume 14,000 calories a week, you will lose weight. You're gonna need this number. Now I'm a firm believer of carb cycling. If you've seen my videos before, I like carb cycling just because it's easy to maintain for a very long time. as opposed to doing one of the extremes of either high carb all the time or low carb all the time. I like it. It's easy to maintain. So once I had this number, all I did was minus, again, you can plug it in however you want, I minused 300 calories. So now my new calories per day were 1,700 calories. But again, that is gonna be on my low carb day. On my high carb day, I'm going 2,400 calories. So once you technically have this number, all you gotta do is you gotta minus 300 to get your low carb, and then to get your high carb, all you're gonna do is add 400. It's a rule of thumb. To check your math, all you gotta do is add all your days together. If this number equals 14,000, then you're good. And I already checked my math, it does equal 14,000 because that's what I'm doing. Okay, so now we got the weekly breakdown. What does it look like? I'm gonna go high carb on Sunday, which looks like this day right here. So this day right here, I'm consuming 220 grams of protein, 268 grams of carbs, and 54 grams of fat. I'm gonna do the high carb on Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So I got 3 high carb days, 3 right here. So I go a high carb on Sunday, low, low, high, low, low, high. Now there's a reason why I do that, because typically, what do people do on the weekends? Typically on your weekends, you're usually out with your friends, you're maybe eating a little bit more, indulging a little bit more, and it's easier for you to slip up on maintaining your calorie intake. So I'm trying to foolproof my plan. Another reason why I got my high carb days, when we look at your workouts, again, this is how you want to program it. I programmed it so that my high carb days land on obviously the weekend, so I can prevent any type of slip ups. On Wednesday, the midweek, because what happens is I fuel up. It's a psychological game. Your body gets used to it. I fuel up, I have a high carb day, spend some time with my family, it's a weekend, I'm good. These carbs transfer over into Monday. Monday I have a low carb of, again, I'm only at 103 grams, 1,700 calorie day, 1,700 calorie day. By the time I'm starting to feel it, I know psychologically on Wednesday I get a refeed day. So I get more carbs, I get more calories, I'm gonna feel a little bit better, and I have something to look forward to get me through the hump. Then I go Thursday, okay, cool, completely different meal plan, which I'll do a video coming up shortly about a low carb and a high carb day, what those look like. I got a low carb day. By this time I'm like, okay, I need another refeed day, but it's easy for me to push through the second low carb day because I know I get a refeed day or a refeed day here. So that's how I break up the high, low, low, high, low, low, high, and here's my calories. Now, there's another reason why I broke up them, and when it comes to your workouts, again, you want to have fuel for your workouts. So if we look here, we'll start pull. On my first pull day, because I work out at basically 5 o'clock in the morning every single day. On this Sunday, it's obviously a pull day. It's a big volume day, so I need a lot of extra carbs, which I'm technically, if it's 5 o'clock in the morning, I only have 1 meal in me, but I'm still feeling the carbs from this day. So this day technically fuels this workout. And then on my low carb, everybody's like, you shouldn't do a low carb day on leg day. Well, I work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. So all these carbs, plus my pre-workout drink, I have carbs for my legs, so I'm fueled and ready to go. This day is probably the hardest day because it's my second low day and I only get my carbs from my pre-workout, but it's a low carb day. It's okay because again, my next pull day, a very high volume day, I'm gonna have carbs. Okay, now this pull day is actually probably harder than this push day just because I got too low. This is a 5 o'clock workout in the morning, so I don't really have that much carbs in me. But this functional, more geared towards lower body day, I'm gonna have a lot of carbs in me. So I'm gonna be feeling good. Friday I'm off, and then Saturday I go back into my push day, and I got a high carb day to refeed. So I have been able to do this and maintain it probably for like the past 6 weeks strictly. I've been kind of on and off fluctuating probably for about 2 or 3 months. But I am a firm believer of carb cycling and this method. Another tip you can use for this weekend, okay? Because in the app, it's very easy to track all your macros. So I know, for instance, I have 268 carbs that I could eat on this day. And I did it this week, okay? This past weekend, I had a party that I had to go to, and they were serving Chipotle. So I basically planned ahead, and I knew, okay, I could eat a salad bowl when I go there. I didn't have a scale, I didn't have any of that to actually measure it out. But when you meal prep and weigh your stuff 5 days a week, you start getting comfortable with eyeballing what 7 grams of protein looks like or what 4.5 ounces of rice looks like. You get pretty good at it. Did I bring a scale? No, I'm not that guy at the party. It's not that serious. But when I went to the party, again, I just eyeballed some rice, eyeballed some chicken, and I was good to go. I had another party on Sunday. Again, it's a high carb day, so I could kind of plan accordingly. I saved up most of my carbs for later on in the day because I knew I was going to be tempted when I went to this party, and depending on what they served, again, it was chicken and rice, so I was able to kind of, again, gauge it out. But I saved most of my carbs for later on in the day so that I could have a little bit more rice, a little bit more vegetables, and even a bigger salad because I knew at the time, I had 80 carbs to spare. So I've really been liking this program just because it's very easy to maintain. So if you hear someone, like these are my macros, if someone says, what's a macronutrient? Protein, that means I'm shooting for 220 grams of protein on my high carb days, 207 on my low carb. This gets most people. My buddy was very shocked when I told him how much protein he has to take in a day. Most people don't take in enough protein, and that's why they're not losing weight. Again, protein, in order for your body to digest it, it's like, I think it's called thermogenic or whatever. You burn more calories to eat your protein. So when I asked him how many grams of protein, the app calculated that he should be taking in, I think it was 240 grams of protein. He's a bigger guy. And he says, dude, I think I'm maybe taking in 70 grams of protein. And the average person, if they don't know it, that they're very low on their protein intake, which could be messing up while you're not losing weight. And again, on my low carb and high carb, that's really the only thing that's fluctuating. I go from 103 grams on my low carb to 268 grams on my high carb. My fats are pretty close. They don't really change. So I only had to think of 2 meal plans because he's like, wait, do you even have to plan this out every single day? No, not at all. Once I got the app, I started plugging in stuff because you can scan stuff. You can just type in actual macronutrients. Once I was like, okay, this is what I want to eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I plugged it all in and checked the calories. If I was at like 1900 calories, I adjusted. I started minusing stuff. I started adjusting the measurements of them. And once I got to 1700 calories, and I was like, that looks like a good low carb day. I'm gonna do that 4 days a week. So I had my 4 days already planned out. Now all I needed to do was plug in my high carb day, which again, I went back to the app. I kind of kept the same stuff, my same meals. The only thing I did is I added carbs to every meal. Like, instead of having a salad for lunch, I had a cup of rice with my chicken or my ground turkey or whatever my protein source was. That's really all it came down to. Find some protein sources that you like, whether it be steak, chicken breast, ground turkey, any of that. On the high carb days, you're gonna take the leaner proteins with very little fat. And then on the low carb day, that's when, if you want, you can actually increase. You could have chicken thighs maybe instead of chicken breast, ground turkey, ground beef, steak, on the low carb days. On the high carb days, that's when you really want to have the lean stuff because again, you can't have your fats go up. So when it comes to losing weight, the first thing you got to do is you got to get you got to figure out where you're at. I recommend obviously the First Form app. I do work with them. They're a phenomenal company, but the app is very, very user friendly. My friend was freaking out when he actually saw the app because he's like, wait, you can plug in it, you could scan stuff. It shows you, it's like I said before, it's very visually appealing and a very user-friendly app. It also offers all the workouts. Like for him, he was like, I know you said to do a push-pull leg day, but I'm kind of confused on what to do. I said, dude, there's an app for that. And also there's different levels. I'm obviously on the advanced because I've been working out for like 16 years. He was able to plug it in and they gave him beginner push-pull leg workouts. So, and there's like 8 different type of workouts you can choose from, whether it's you're working out from home, you're working out at the gym, you have a lot of equipment, a little equipment, whatever it is. So he chose that, he got his total calories, he got his macros, he picked his workout plan, and now I'm actually able to check in on him. Obviously I work with him, so it's easy. But for those of you who want a one-on-one coach, I'm able to actually do that through the app. Once you have the app and you're programming, then you really just have to plug it in and kind of mess around and figure out 2 days, at least a high day and a low day. Once you have those, like I said, I don't really change anything. I think like Wednesday, my wife and I wanted to have tacos. So I didn't have that many carbs for lunch, and then I was able to throw in 2 soft tacos with some rice for dinner. Again, all I did is I went into my app while I was at lunch at school and typed in, okay, what are the macros for these 2 tortillas? I put in an order and I changed it. It's not that hard once you have the actual tools and technology to calculate it. Now, do you need the app? No, you really don't need the app. You could plug it in, you could do it all you want, but again, just something a little bit easier, something to hold you accountable. I'd recommend getting something that gives you an accurate reading. So first thing, obviously, figure out your calories. Once you figure out your calories, adjust the low carb, the high carb, and you're good to go. And that about does it. That's really my rhyme and reasoning for everything. I tried to keep this video short. I hope it's informative because I know when it comes to these, I have a lot of ideas in my head and sometimes I don't do the best. of putting it out there and explaining it to you guys. So if you guys still have questions, comment below and say, hey, I didn't understand what you meant by this, or just let me know. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. If you guys are interested in having me on a one-on-one coach, a lot of you guys joined after you guys you saw the transformation challenge, and you guys are able to reach out to me whenever you want, basically via text message. That's another way you could get in communication with me and I could help you out. I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Go out there, make sure you create your meal plan, make sure you plan. And once you have the tools in place, I promise you it will be so much easier for you to actually live a healthy lifestyle. Like my buddy. My buddy was very shocked when he saw it, black and white on the board. He was like, that makes sense. It doesn't seem that hard. And it's really not if you take just a little bit of your time at the beginning, plan out, get all the tools, set it up, and it makes it really easy for you to live that healthy lifestyle. So I will catch you guys in the next one. You guys already know the motto: stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I will see you next time.